do you think that every generation just has that favorite decade from this certain like magical age period? Or do you think that the 90s do stick out above and beyond just taking place in that special period of
For
our
like the
lives?
people of like our age bracket, you mean
Yeah.
like do I think that
Millennials, like older
if
millennial,
I would go
elder.
find like 10 of my high school buddies that I graduated with, would they think, would they think the 90s was the greatest decade? I can't say for sure, but I do feel like that it would definitely be the majority. I think,
Yeah.
just because of that's like there's just something very influential about that time of your lives when you're a certain age, when you're it's like I said, it's a little bit like after, maybe even a little bit during puberty, and then like after, and then getting to be like graduating, and then being like maybe in your 20s or something like that. And obviously when the decade started, I was 7. So what, you were probably 5 when the decade started. So yeah,
Yep.
so I mean, it's pretty, yeah, I would say that most people would probably agree, but I mean, I don't know for sure. We'd have to take a poll and see how many people like the 90s, or how many people remember the 90s. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Versus what age themselves
right,
they are
right.
too. That would be
It
interesting.
would
Yeah.
be
How old are
interesting
you?
to talk
Yeah.
to just people, because I feel like we know people in the younger generation, obviously, and that would be my cousins, and they would be like your nieces and nephews. It'd be interesting to just kinda know, like, if their favorite decades, like, I guess a lot of them probably mainly grew up in the 2010s, I guess, would be safe to say. So it would be interesting to know if, like, that's their favorite decade. But it would be so bizarre, right? Because I'd be like, "Oh god, the 2010s, those were awful," you know? But that's, if that's what they know. I mean, they didn't grow up in the '90s, so they don't know. But yeah, it's a great decade. I love it. I think it was awesome to do an episode. I liked everything that we talked about. But yeah, my favorite part was talking about the films and the TV and the games and the music. Do you have any final thoughts?
The 90s were great. And I think that I think right now can be great for the people that are growing up right now. And that's what there's a part of me that hopes that sort of that's just what every decade is to that person who's growing up in that decade. And that hopefully the 90s wasn't truly just so magical that we'll never have it again. But yeah, it was really special for me. And I loved talking about the movies and the TV and, of course, the video games because I'm a huge gamer at heart.